All right. What's going on, everybody? All my CollaboFit at home athletes, everyone dropping in, thinking that they want to get a good workout in. Thank you. Welcome. You're in for a doozy today. It is no other than Sweat It Out Thursday, our conditioning day, heavy conditioning day. We put the heavy lifting to the side and we attack lightweight, a lot of movements, but I guess that's what quarantine and our CollaboFit at home has been for the most part, right? We want to make it user-friendly for everybody at home. But you know that when we get back into the gym, you should receive an email within the next few days that's going to give you our little game plan. So that way, once we get that approval to open up, we know exactly how we are going to get our workouts in, okay? So we want you guys to be on the lookout for that email. All right. Well, with that said, we got a fun one for today. We have our warm-up as always, okay, which I will go over all of these later. We're going to do some mobility, okay, about 90 seconds of work per movement on the mobility movements. And then we are going to go into our Metcon. It's about an 18-minute metabolic conditioning, and we are doing 3 rounds of 6 movements, okay? And the way that you're going to work is 45 seconds of, so it's intervals, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, or what I like to call it, a 15-second transition, right? Because it's not much of a rest. So 45 seconds of work, 15-second transition, 6 movements, 3 rounds, equipment that you will need for today. Obviously, your body, get ready. There's a lot of, especially in the warm-up, it's all body movement. You will need a dumbbell or a kettlebell for some shoulder movements and some high pull movements, okay? If you have both, use both. If you have a barbell at home, you can take out a barbell as well. And, you know, medium weight on that would be okay for some Sumo deadlift high pulls. And you will also need a wall ball, okay? A big medicine ball for our wall ball. So those are your movements for today, and that is what we are going to attack, all right? So with that said, let's jump right into it. We're going to go into our warm-up. Our warm-up is what we call Sally, okay? Now, Sally is pretty much a Simon Says type of warm-up, okay? We're playing a fun game of Simon Says, but we're going to go to the rhythm of Flowers by Moby, okay? So if you're doing this at home, for copyright reasons, we can't actually play the song, but I want you guys to play the song at home. And the song is called Flowers. The artist is Moby. If you guys have access to our app on our phone, you will have the link on there that you can play and you can follow along that way. But essentially, all the song says, it will dictate when to either go up. So Sally is up, we're up right? Or it's going to say Sally goes down, right? And that's when you are going to drop down into a bottom of an air squat, okay? And if it says that you're at the bottom, you're going to hold at the bottom and you're going to come right back up when it says to come up. Quality of the song is so make sure you try to listen closely, but it's going to tell you when to go up and when to go down. So once again, your movement is the air squat. I want to see weight on your heels, legs about shoulder width apart. I'm going kind of sideways so you can see a little bit better on my angle, okay? Toes slightly out. I'm standing straight up. To initiate the movement, I want to pop that hip back and bend my knees a tiny bit, okay? Kind of what I like to call the ready position, right? Ready to do anything at this point, okay? Now, what you're going to do from here, if you want for counterbalance purposes, you can put your hands out, and we are going to drop our hip down and back, okay, while we get into that full squat, right? I'm keeping my weight on my heels and outer part of my foot. So I'm driving my knees out and I'm keeping my chest up. I am not dropping my chest and doing this here, okay? That is not a very healthy squat, all right? You want to make sure you keep your chest up, weight on your heels, knees out, hip as far down as you can go, preferably below parallel, okay? And when Sally says bring it up, you bring it up. When Sally says take it down, you take it down, okay? And that's all you're going to do, all right? So we're going to give you a quick little countdown, 10-second countdown. And then once that is up, I want you guys to hit play on whatever phone, whatever device you're using, and then play a little game of Simon Says with Flowers by Moby. All right, so you guys may get going.
Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Sally up, a green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan.
Okay, well, I hope that was fun. I know it's a bunch of squats, but your legs should be ready to go. Like I said, the quality isn't the best, but just good enough for you to be able to hear and play that game, as Simon says. Hope you enjoyed that. Now that you're nice and warm, let's go ahead and get into our mobility for today, all right? We have 2 movements, and we're going to do all these movements in 90-second intervals. And the first movement is the perfect stretch, okay? It's called the perfect stretch, or referred to as the perfect stretch. That's not self-proclaimed, but that's just, I guess, what it's called. And what we are going to do is, it's a long one, so let me see if I can get this right the first time. All right, so you are going to initiate, we don't need this, we are going to initiate by going into a deep lunge, okay? Deep lunge, back foot, okay? Driving that hip into the ground, but notice how my knee does not track too far forward or too far back, okay? So I'm here in this deep lunge. Second step is a multiple step stretch, okay? Step number 2 is you're gonna take that elbow, that same elbow with the knee that's out in front. So in this case, my right knee is out. That means I'm gonna take my right elbow and I'm going to drive it as close as I can to the ground, okay? Once I'm there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to take my free hand, I'm going to reach for the sky, hold that for about 2 to 3 seconds. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to get out of the lunge, and then I'm just going to grab my toe, okay? 2 to 3 seconds, and then I'm going to do it again. Deep lunge, grab that elbow, drive it as close as I can to the ground, 2 to 3 seconds. Take my free hand, drive it up, 2 to 3 seconds, stand up, and then get that hamstring stretching. Bring my toe up, pull my toe towards my body, okay? And I'm going to continue to do that back and forth for a total of 90 seconds, okay? All right, that's movement number 1. Here's movement number 2. It is shoulder to floor, okay? Not literal shoulder to floor, because that would be too easy. That would just be us laying down, right? What we want to do is that we want to get into this tabletop position, or this child's pose position, okay, here. Once we're here in this child's pose position with our arms out in front of us, getting a little stretch in the lats and the shoulders, from here, I'm going to take my right arm, drive it through and under my left armpit, okay? And then from here, I'm going to try to drive that right shoulder into the ground, okay? We're going to hold that for 90 seconds. We're going to have about a 15-second transition, and then we're going to do it again with our left arm, another 90 seconds. All right? Hopefully that works. And let's get ready to get after it. All right, and here we go. We're going to start off with the perfect stretch, okay? In 3, 2, 1, and we're going to do this for a total of 90 seconds. We're going to start off with that deep lunge. Oh, yeah, drive that hip into the ground, 2 to 3 seconds. Get that inside elbow as close as you can to the ground. You can't, that's okay, 2 to 3 seconds. Plant that palm on the ground. Free arm goes up. Spirit fingers, 2 to 3 seconds. Then you're going to drive up and out, and then just pull your toe in, 2 to 3 seconds. Perfect. And now we're going to switch. We're going to continue to do that. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Getting up and going into the hamstring stretch is probably the hardest part. Oh, yeah. Good. Looks like we have enough time to do maybe one more per leg. Very good. 10 seconds. One more. All right. And rest. I'm going to restart that. And we are now going into our shoulder stretch. Shoulder to floor stretch. So remember, we're starting this movement in this child's pose. Oh, this is good. Back's cracking a little bit. All right, I'm going to start off by taking my left arm, driving it under my right armpit, and just holding here, trying to drive my left shoulder as best as I can to the ground. Feel it in my shoulder, feel it in my mid-back as well. So I'm trying to pinch my shoulder blades, which feels really good. My arm that's out in front of me, I continue to extend it out little by little, so that way I'm getting a stretch on that shoulder as well. So there's a lot of stretching going on here, all upper body from your upper mid-back through your shoulders. We're about halfway through here. If you need to rest halfway through, if it's too painful to stretch, You can go ahead and get out of that, or you can just get comfortable here. Continue to reach. Okay. The stretch will loosen up little by little, so you got to readjust, reconfigure, and get into a deep stretch once again. 10 seconds left. And then we're going to go right into the next one. Okay. And relax. Okay, here we go. Right into the next one. And go. Oh, this one feels better. This one's less painful, I guess you can say. You don't feel as much of a stretch, but I do feel a little bit of loosening going on, especially my left lat, shoulder, with my arm out in front of me. I do feel it. And then the shoulder here, once I get my head down, there it is. Getting a deep stretch. And remember, I'm continuing to adjust, continuing to reach. Breathe. Inhale, deep inhale, slow exhale. When you exhale, go ahead and relax. Good work. Coming down to our final 20 seconds. After this, we will get ready for our 18-minute Sweat It Out Thursday metabolic conditioning. It's like a fun one. Interval, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Or transition, I should say. And good. Whew. That feels good. I am relaxed. I'm ready to go. I feel loose. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's get ready for today's workout. All right, guys, now that we're ready, nice and warm, let's go ahead and go into today's Metcon, our metabolic conditioning. We have 6 movements for today. We're doing 3 rounds of all of these 6 movements. And how many reps are you going to do? Well, that's completely up to you. The way it's going to go down is you get 45 seconds to do as many reps as you can, and then you get a 15-second transition from movement to movement, all right? Movement number 1 is the push jerk with the right arm, okay? Use your dumbbell, your kettlebell, whatever you have, whatever weight. Legs are gonna be directly underneath your hips, okay? Little bend, make sure that chest does not collapse forward, okay? Little bend, dip, drive up overhead, and then dip again to catch, and then stand up, okay? Dip, drive, dip, stand up, dip, drive, dip, stand up. Okay, you're gonna do that with your right arm, and then you're gonna do the same thing with your left arm. That's movement number 1. And movement number 2, once again, 45 seconds of work, 15-second transition, and then you're gonna do it again, 45 seconds of work with your left arm, 15-second transition to movement number 3. Movement number 3 is the toes to hands, okay? Or what I like to call it, lazy way of doing burpees. I love it because I'd rather do that than the actual burpees, all right? So what you're gonna do is that for this movement, you're going to be somewhat in a pike position, okay? And what I want you guys to do is we're gonna drive our feet to our hands, both, okay, simultaneously. Drive them up and then back down into a plank. Up, back down, up, back down. You're gonna do that for 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, all right? Movement number 4, I have the kettlebell, whatever it is that you have or that you're using. You wanna make sure that it's there. Sorry about that, guys, all right? And then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to get a wide stance over that weight, okay? With that dumbbell kettlebell, you can even use a barbell for this movement, okay? What you're going to do, you're gonna drop that butt. So you're not bowing, okay? You're not hinging forward. You're actually dropping that butt as far as you can until you have picked up your object, okay? Or can grab your object. From there, you're going to drive up and then drive those elbows up as well, okay? Notice how with this movement, my elbows are staying above the object at all times. You have a kettlebell, the exact same thing, okay? If you have a barbell, it's pretty much the exact same thing. You still have that wide position, but you're grabbing the barbell evenly here. You're dropping the butt, and then you're still pulling up, keeping those elbows high, okay? All movements are identical. It doesn't matter what object you're using, okay? So that's movement number 4. Movement number 5. Here's the fun one. No push-up, burpee, shuttle, sprint. A lot and a very fancy way of saying do a shuttle sprint. But before you do every shuttle sprint, do a no push-up burpee. And a no push-up burpee is essentially an up, down, and up, down is essentially half of a burpee, okay? So it's going to look like this. You're going to need about 15 feet of space. If you don't have 15 feet of space, get as much space as you have. Little disclaimer, the less space you have, the more no push-up burpees you're going to be doing, all right? So with that said, you're going to initiate your run, okay, your shuttle sprint with a no push-up burpee. A no push-up burpee, all I'm doing is I'm dropping down into a plank, and then I'm popping back up. After I pop back up, I'm running to the other side, okay? And then I'm doing it again. Remember, I initiate each change of direction or each sprint with that no push-up burpee, all right? That is movement number 5, and we have made it finally to movement number 6. Movement number 6, you need that medicine ball down there, okay? How do I get there? Right there. Right there, okay? And you're doing wall balls, okay? If you don't have that medicine ball, you can grab a dumbbell, okay? A kettlebell, grab it sideways, and you can do thrusters, which is a squat and then driving overhead, okay? But if you do have a medicine ball, a big wall ball like that, and you do have a 10 or 9 foot target, you're doing wall balls, okay? For the wall balls, ball starts at your face, your elbows are up, you're going into a complete squat, okay? Full range of motion on that squat. And on the way up, you're being very explosive because you're actually releasing that object. I'll do a couple reps here to show you, and then we'll be ready to go for our workout. Balls at my face, full squat, releasing that object, hitting my target, which is that 10-foot mark for guys, 9 feet for the ladies. All right? Boom. That is our workout for today. I'm exhausted already, but I'm going to do this with you guys. All right? So let's get after it.